What up, world? I'm Uncle Bill. This is the Big Lumpy Couch. I'm joined on the couch, as always, by my best friend, co host, and Canadian music producer, Stimpaq.
Party people in the house, how we feeling?
Whoop whoop. Today, we are talking about advertisement, what it is, and how it plays a part in our daily lives.
Hang on, Uncle Bill. Hang on, Uncle Bill. We got to plug our sponsorship. This ad is brought to you by. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to cut you off with an ad.
Ads, advertisement.
Ads.
We're bombarded with them every day.
Yeah.
Are they even any good anymore, or are we just forced to watch them, right?
Let's start in the present before we become old men and just fucking peel the clock immediately back and go, oh, they were so much better back in the day. Like, let's talk about ads now. Have you seen any good, compelling ads that either make you happy or actually make you want to buy the product? Are they out there?
I want to say yes, but I just can't think of like any recent ones off the top of my head.
I've noticed a different format, which does work for me. We're okay because the longest time it was okay. We have a fucking $50,000 budget, or I don't know how much it cost back in the day to make a compelling, good commercial, but it was shot like a movie. You had camera crew, you had actors, you had plots, you had everything. But you know what? You know what kind of works is when you do shit like this, where it's, hey man, I'm just cleaning my apartment with this new thing, and it like kind of works. Check this out, and then cut. You know, the influencer model, I feel for some reason it's more compelling to me. It makes it feel like you are just a real person with your fucking phone. I obviously know that you're paid to do this, but it sounds way more compelling. It makes it feel like we're just FaceTiming each other than it does shot in a studio. And I feel like that's the big veil and the big curtain that's kind of been pulling over, being revealed for the past couple years, where whatever we were getting in the media was polished and perfect and cut nice and there was a budget and everything. And then I don't know, there a moment clicked where that's not relatable. That's not I don't that doesn't feel like me. It doesn't feel like that was advertised to me. And then that's when the influencer fucking floodgates opened. And then all of a sudden, somebody on their phone said, dude, check out this shirt, go to this link. And for some reason, at least to me, that feels more compelling than an actual shot commercial that we're going to talk about back in the day. But I find that's more effective. I've never really clicked on one, but I've been more drawn to than some of the other fucking terrible ads that are out now. Some of these guys act like they're being held hostage because this company is paying for their fucking bills. Hey, we'll give you $5,000 to plug our thing. Here's your tag. And I get it. We got to do it so that creating content can be your full-time job. But sometimes it sounds like they're reading off a script. Oh, hey, checkout factor. It really works.
Yeah, you could definitely tell right away if a person actually believes in what they're advertising or if they're just paid to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Or if they really use it.
Or if they really use it, yeah. I think the whole influencer advertisement works because it's real people talking about real things, or at least it's perceived as that. And maybe that's what it is that we don't like fake anymore. But I want to say it's because they don't need to put the production value into advertisement anymore. Because now advertisement is given to us way different. You have a 60-second advertisement that you have to skip to watch a YouTube video where you'd have 5 minutes of advertisements between shows and halfway through a show, right? So you would usually get up and do something during that advertisement. Get popcorn, go get your second glass of Kool-Aid or what have you, right? In the earlier days, advertisements had to be really, really catchy because while you were getting up, you're like, wait, what's that? Right? Where now you're almost forced to watch it. They're more factual than anything nowadays.
Yeah, I remember like when we first talked about doing this idea, that's the first thing you brought up is that back in the day, it was they had to be catchy. They had to have a hook because next time you're in the freaking, snack aisle, you think of the Yop ad or the Yop song and you're like, oh, I want one of those. Like,
Yo, me and
yeah,
my must move.
which I think is one of the goated advertisement songs.
Right?
I think it
Why
was
do I
catchy.
know every word to that song 17 years later?
Well, because it was forced to us, but then by the fourth, sixth, seventh, or eighth time, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a good.
Yeah, it was catchy and it was good.
Yeah, I think another honorable mention for like catchy ad songs is the Discovery Channel "Poom Diana, We Love the Earth." Dude, this song was a bop. I know like Discovery will probably have this sample locked up real tight, but I would love to remix it. But it starts with two astronauts. Anytime this ad came on, I was so excited. I'm gonna say,
Wait, I think I know the one you're talking.
It
Yeah,
starts with the astronauts. They're looking at the Earth. They're like, "Hey, man, it's beautiful, isn't it?" It kind of makes you want to break out in a song, and then they go, "I love the mountains. I love the clear blue skies." Do do
yep.
do do do. And then everybody that was popping at the time on the Discovery Channel had a little cameo. together. I love explosions. I love when great whales fly. Dun, ba, dun, 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 dun. And then it had like a tribal scene where like there was people around a fire and everything. It was dope. It's so catchy, so fucking catchy. Was there any
Yep.
other good songs? Obviously, there's the Yup, and then there's Discovery.
Um,
Anything else?
there's like the ones that I'm thinking of is because remember back when you had to like watch a certain channel to see what was on the other channels? You had
The guide channel in the
yeah,
hotels.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and they'd always have those carpet commercials and stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I can't really remember like any specific jingles, but there was a some that were really catchy. Like Call Empire Today. That's one.
Empire.
Call Empire Today. Or yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So it was like
pizza for 867 11 11. Come to pizza. Hey, hey, hey.
I was gonna say that the late '90s, well, because I can only speak to what I remember, right? But I have to say the late '90s and the early 2000s were like goaded for advertisements. They were so efficient that the Canadian government made advertisements, so like children would be aware of certain dangers in the world, and they freaking worked. And then actually, you know what? My favorite one is one where they make up something and they advertise it to you, and it's so fucking believable, and then they go, that was pretty believable, wasn't it? Right? It's the house hippo. That was the whole point behind the house hippo was that they advertised it, donate to the house hippo, and then they're like, hey kids, that was pretty realistic, wasn't it? You got to kind of analyze things when you're watching it on TV.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure we have. I've confessed this before, but I'll definitely go back and do it again. But my little, I'm gonna say 5 or 6 year old brain, because so yeah, there. So you're right. So it was House Hippo, and then there was a whole different cut scene where it was almost shot and edited differently because the first half was. There was panning shots. There was it was all shot like a movie. And
And
then the
like, I want to give the CGI department of that commercial their flowers because
Yeah, for 90s CGI, fuck yeah. When you saw the hippo fucking floating in
running
the
across the kitchen floor.
run across, or no,
What?
I was talking floating in the water dish where he opens his mouth and yeah, he's swimming in it.
Yeah.
Okay, but I have a
Yeah.
confession. So yeah, my 6 year old brain thought that those two cut scenes were different ads. Okay, so the first one was House Hippo, and then the second one was, hey, that looked real. Think about things, right? But I thought those were two different ads. So I was looking for house hippos and then questioning other things. Not questioning the house hippo. No, that seemed legit. My house hippos must be just hiding somewhere because I would spend full days inside looking for house hippos, and no one came to check me.
Another one that really stuck with me, like, don't put it in your mouth, don't stuff it in your face.
Yeah, those look like Timu Sesame Street a little bit. Yeah, and then yes, and then there was What's Your Thing, which is my favorite, one of my favorite ads ever. I reconnected with it recently, and it's yeah, I cried. This is so fucking beautiful, and so punk rock at the same time. Whereas it was just a bunch of energetic kids fucking doing their thing. There's tap dancers, there was soccer players, there's chess players. Then there was the dinosaur guy and the bug guy and the martial arts guy and the skateboard guy. Nothing else was speaking to me the way that ad did. It. I don't know. And it didn't even tell you what to do. It just said do it. Whatever whatever that thing is that you do, you go and do it.
You go and do it.
And
Yeah.
then, yeah, when I reconnected with it, I remixed it, and it's coming out next year. And it's
So stay tuned for that.
yes, I'm probably gonna open my sets with it because I don't know. I think it's a good way to like set the dance floor where I'm saying, okay, however this music hits you, as long as you're not hurting yourself or anyone else, fucking do it. So it's saying, what's your thing? I want to see what your thing is, meaning your movement. How do you move, right?
How do you stim?
Well, I gotta come up with a name for those type of pits though, and I'm taking suggestions. I don't know if it's a pack pit or some shit. I don't know. I just want a blob of stimulation. Just move into my music however you want.
Is there any advertisements that really stuck with you? Is there a brand that you have to buy because you're like, well,
Because
it's
of the
just,
ads.
well, yeah. Well, or maybe because you subliminally message that's the best. I can think of some.
Most of them are booze, well, sorry, well, no, it's just two because I'll tell you about my favorite commercials, and then I'll tell you about products that I have to buy only because of the ads. And so one of my friends works at a liquor store. And whenever somebody comes up and buys a 12 pack of the Mexican beer Dos Equis, I think they're Mexican, right? And then
Yep.
that comes from the most interesting man in the world.
Yep.
Where those ads were fucking awesome. He can speak French in Russian. He wants parallel park to train. And shit, I can't. Those were the first two I could think of. But my friend that works at a liquor store, he says every time somebody buys Dos Equis, I ask them why, and every single time they say the ads because the guy, my buddies, was expecting them to say that, and every single time he goes, "I like the ads, so I bought the beer." Like
The funny thing is that I'm actually wearing their shirt, so
the
it
Molson
was
ads.
Molson ads. You always felt so freaking patriotic. It was almost unpatriotic to drink anything else but Molson because
You've
it's like
grown up. You've grown a beard in
I
the
am
postseason.
Canadian.
You used a blow. You used a blowtorch to curve your stick. You said no to a booty call during the postseason.
You know what a J stroke is.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what my favorite one was, and the one that actually made my dad go, "Yeah." Was at the very end, you see a bunch of hockey pucks hitting a fucking garage door, and they say, "They're not dents, they're goals." And it's a fucking duct tape little square on a fucking garage with the thing all caved in. And yeah, you hear this big fucking grizzled man go, "They're not dents, they're goals." And my dad slams his beer down and goes, "Fucking right."
Except your dad would be the one that would complain if we put dents in his garage door.
Yes, exactly. Exact case in point. Yeah, fuck, that's a whole other thing. But yes, the Molson Canadian ones were good, and then my favorite, what ad will always have a safe place in my heart, is the I'm gonna say 2005 to maybe 2007 or eight Coors Light ads. I like when they were first coming out with the Blue Mountains. Do you remember that? Where the can would change. I mean, I'm just a Canadian consuming Canadian media, and I know that that's. I'm pretty sure it's American beer, but yeah, when those ads came out, man, it was like I don't know, they were like the Shrek of the advertisement world where everybody in the family can take something from it. If you were a kid, you laugh at, I don't know, but I'm sure they would laugh at something. But there was always this, hot office girl pitching ideas, and then there goes she's just trying to explain it to a group of guys, and they're portraying them as just airheads. Okay, the can changes color. Oh, then a whole group of guys are just like, "Oh, cool." It goes like, "So when does the label turn into beer?" Just like, when does the can turn into a label? No, the mountains on the label change color. And then they go, "Oh, they do that again." And then the advertisement comes around, Coors Light, now with the thermoreactive cans. And then right before the ad's over, everybody's up, like stands up from their chairs, and they're looking at the actual mountains. And they're like, "Guys, it's not." They're like, "Shh, the mountains are going to turn into beer." No, just trying to explain to them. The fucking can changes color when it's cold.
Do you remember seeing GoDaddy commercials back in the day?
Yeah, those were unhinged. Those were kind of like the Axe commercials.
Right? Where to the point where I didn't even like as a kid, I knew what a GoDaddy commercial was right away. It was the one with the hot girls in it. And fuck yeah, whatever that was, I wanted it. But at that point I didn't even know what GoDaddy was. Nowadays, I know what GoDaddy is. It's a website hosting platform, but
That's a perfect example of the advertisement stuck, but I didn't know what you were advertising. That's a perfect example. They kept saying domainnames.com smacks. I don't know what that means. I don't know what a domain name is. I don't fucking know what that means. So I don't know. To my knowledge, they were selling websites. You go to their site, pay them a fee, and they'll host your website for you, I think. But yeah,
exactly what it is.
but yeah, I mean, I haven't. Don't get it twisted. I haven't seen a GoDaddy commercial in a long time. So they obviously, if I watched it now, they'd probably age poorly, and I probably still, I'd kind of get a sense of what they're trying to sell.
Now it's more what it should be. Now it's just
But it's not a
know,
website
what
builder like Wix, right?
yes and no. I don't use
Okay.
GoDaddy. I used it one time to buy a domain name, but that's
I don't even think GoDaddy is still around anymore.
no, it is. It is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Because I looked up GoDaddy and fucking Squarespace came up. So I'm like, did they fucking gobble up GoDaddy? But no, yeah, GoDaddy is still a thing, but the branding is very, very, very corporate. Whereas
Mhm.
before it was the cuck looking dude with the shades and the spiky hair with
Yep.
the big shades on, and then yeah, you'd have the female cop coming up and try and I think it was another girl at one point. A girl was speeding, and then yeah, this female cop came up in the big stilettos. And, "You know how fast you were going back there? Not as fast as GoDaddy," and blah 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 shit like that. Like, what are you trying to sell us here? I don't get it. Did you ever have an ad start a trend at your school? You know which one was at my school was could have had a V8.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
every people would come up to you unprovoked and just bonk you in the forehead and go, "Have a V8." That was funny the first time, only the first time, and then it was just really annoying afterwards.
Yeah. No, that was yes. A lot of people would smack
Like
me in
the
the head.
guy, it's the guy is spotting this guy at the gym and he keeps doing sit-ups, and then the guy's, "Oh, you get your vitamins in?" And he goes, "Yeah." when I can. And then he goes, and then when he sits up, he hits him in the head again. Yeah.
Yeah, coulda
V8
had a V8.
V8s taste like shit, man. I remember I took one when I was 9, and because all the pop was in the garage, and I was skateboarding in the garage a lot, and I was so thirsty. It was a summer day. Okay, this is a cold drink, and I cracked it, and I like spit it out. I'm like, this tastes like carrot.
See, I don't like tomato juice. I don't drink Caesars. I don't do the whole clamato juice thing. I don't like tomato juice, and so when you add clam juice to that, that doesn't sound like it's gonna be any better
No,
to me.
and I didn't
So
know that that was
I
the
hate
difference.
Caesars.
I didn't know what the fuck clamato cheese was. They're like, "Oh yeah, you mix clams and." It makes sense. Like you got the salt and the tomatoes, but I hate tomatoes. Tomatoes make me gag. If I ever forget to take the tomato off of a burger,
Yeah. Yeah, I could add a V8. No, I don't know if there's any trends that started off. That was easy.
oh
Um,
yeah, I won 2 easy buttons at a raffle one time because they were raffling off 2 easy buttons and 2 USB sticks, and I needed the USB sticks for something, and I think I was doing magic tricks at the fair, so I didn't even have to pay to get in there, so I got raffle tickets anyways, and I won both of them. And yeah, battery lasted a long time, and anybody that came into my room hit it, and it got really annoying after a while.
that's funny because I gotta say, I can't remember any specific, for example, KD commercials, but fuck if I'm gonna buy anything else but Kraft Dinner.
There was one, and you can go look it up because it was I don't know, it was so 90s and so retro. It really stuck. It was this guy was okay, so this kid was eating KD on like a 90s kitchen table, and then the older brother goes over to the pot and he starts eating it right out of the pot. And then his aura starts to go orange. He has an orange glow around him. And then
Yep,
he looks at his buddy who's eating it out of the bowl and he goes, "You are what you eat." And just and I don't know, he got crazy, I don't know, microplastic powers or some shit. Micro.
no, actually, one that I can think of right now is, and it was actually the most Canadian thing ever because these kids are playing street hockey outside, and then their mom calls them in. They're KD's ready, and they go
Nice.
in. They duct tape hoses and bottles to their their helmets,
Mhm.
and then they blend the KD and they put it in. And they drink it out of the straws, and they continue
That's
to play
gnarly.
street hockey
Yeah.
while sucking, literally slurping KD down like it was a Slurpee.
Was there ever an ad that you were surprised was allowed to air?
GoDaddy ads.
That just GoDaddy just I'm talking
Some
like
accidental
scary,
ads.
dark shit, like anything like that?
No, no, not really. Not in like scary ways, but
There was one that I thought was fake, but it turned out to be real. I can't remember for the life of me what the product was. I was either juice or like a super soaker or something. But the scene was that two people went into this tornado and then teleported somewhere else, right? So there was two people and then I don't know, they do some corny fucking thing and then go bring and they go into this tornado and then they spawn somewhere else and the tornado lets go and they're fused together. The particles it was so weird, dude. I said to myself, this must have been somebody's last day on the office. They're at the office. Well, you know how Conker's Bad Fur Day was made? That was Nintendo's last game, so they said fuck it and they just did whatever they wanted. I'm pretty sure that was the same thing. I swear there was probably something like that going on. And also, we could also talk about the products they were advertising that were weird as fuck. There was a super because do you remember back in the day when you were watching YTV, there was a different Super Soaker ad and a new Super Soaker every couple months, you know?
yep, yep, yep.
There was one
Yeah,
that
and
shook
it was always bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
exactly. To the point where you have this roided out fucking gun that could probably take someone's eye out. The Oozinator. So it's a
Oozinator?
Super Soaker. It looks like it was from Alien. But
Okay.
yeah, it's the Super Soaker Oozinator and it turns your water into goo somehow.
Gross.
And that's what the kids were saying. They were like, "Oh, gross, disgusting."
I don't like it.
I'm like,
I don't like it one bit.
what a stupid product. And like, I can't imagine they probably got sued into the Stone Age for this shit. But
There was one where it was just like hair candy stuff, and you'd like dip your hair in it, and then and then you could suck on it.
oh, that was another thing is
Gross.
all of the girl like the girly girl toys. Like some of them were like toy makeup, right? Where even real makeup is like, hey, what's in there? But then you get like I don't know, Polly Pocket freaking color palettes and here's how to dye your hair, and then your hair falls out.
Yeah, like an automatic braider, and it like rips your hair out.
Yeah. I know there was always something to give you highlights, or you take basically a freaking hair curler, you curl it, and now there's a blue stripe there, and as you know, back back then, I guess there was a little more innocence and we didn't analyze things as much. But looking back on it now, shit, what's that doing? What's that?
No, actually, the one goated one though, like when I think girl toys that like it transcended even to being a unisex toy is Easy Bake Oven.
Yeah. Hey, let's give this
Because
kid an oven.
even I wanted one.
Yeah, we first got a cheap one. Imagine the what's it called? The no name brand Easy Bake Oven, and then we got a good one. I was my sister got one for Christmas one year, and yeah, it was fun. Fuck, you could make cookies and shit. I think it was just a little light bulb under there. They couldn't give the kids. Yeah, oh, you got a gas powered Easy Bake Oven. Like, here you go.
To imagine.
That'd be awesome. Well, I'm sure they got a lot of lawsuits too. You can't just give kids fucking ovens and say, "Here, bake some things." Maybe one burn the house down or something.
I'm pretty sure they still have a version going today.
Nice.
Maybe it's the Easy Bake Microwave now.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Baby's first microwave. Yeah. Cooking crack in there, learning how to just chip it down.
No, no. See, that was in the 50s when they were like giving you like actual uranium to play with and like
Yeah,
radio.
yeah,
Like,
for like chemistry sets or some shit. Wouldn't they give you like napalm chemicals or some shit?
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Children's toys are way too safe nowadays.
I know.
Lawsuits are way too prevalent.
Have you seen any vintage ads? What have you have some vintage ads that you're like, how did they get away with that?
Like, oh, really old one is there's an instant coffee one that like basically suggests domestic abuse. Well, like, obviously it got canceled or like it wouldn't fly today, but that's the one I can think of. We're like, don't let your man hit you. Buy the best or something like that. And it's like instant coffee. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you this story because you were very intrigued by it. But I followed an ad on Teletoon at night that gave my phone a virus one time.
Really?
So there was sketchier ads on the like Teletoon at night kind of thing, or I guess in the states it's like Nick at Night, where
Okay.
they
Yeah.
would go from airing, like SpongeBob to airing Family Guy. There was a little switch there, and so when that channel kicked in, there was different ads. So like that's when you got the GoDaddy ads. That's when you got the Axe ads. I mean, weirdly enough, there was still Axe ads on like kids shows where guys would spray Axe on themselves and get fucking football tackled by a by a group of Sports
Yeah.
Illustrated
Yeah.
models,
Yeah.
shit like that. But for the longest time, there was, hey, text this to this number and this will happen, right?
Or like you'd get like a new ringtone or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a big one. Was yeah to get Crazy Frog as your fucking ringtone. Actually, that's how Crazy Frog broke into the mainstream. Was that song was a ringtone, and then got so big and so annoying that it actually became
Like
like
X
a pop culture thing.
like XLF.
Yeah. Or no, I think it was just the thing he does in the beginning. That is a sample of a guy doing an impression of a specific race car. Ring ding 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 da,
Ding,
da,
ding,
ba,
ding,
ba,
ding, ding,
ba,
ding,
ba, ba,
dong.
ba, ba, and then they pitched it up. And that used to be available as text tones. And then the Crazy Frog got so prominent that they're like, okay, if we just straight up copied the MIDI of a song and just put him in it, it'll work. And it did. Anyway, that's Crazy Frog side rant. But yeah, I think I was watching South Park because it was about jokes. Because like back in the day, South Park was I don't know if it still aired on Comedy Central, but like that's where the new South Park episodes were coming out. So I was watching Comedy Central, and then one of the ads was need a laugh? Text this to, I remember the number. I think it was 65050. It basically said text the word joke to 65050, and then you get a joke a day basically. And that I already had a shitty phone to begin with. It was a little 7-Eleven like prepay phone. It just
Nice.
barbecued it. It just fucked it right up. And anytime I got a joke, it was $1. Where yeah. And so then I remember freaking out one time where you actually had to call the number on your phone to see how much money you had left on that phone. So
Yep.
okay, I can only send 5 more texts, or I can only call for 5 more minutes kind of thing. And I called,
Yep.
and then they're just, oh yeah, you have like negative so many dollars with us. And I'm like, oh, it's because of the jokes. And then I remember going out to my mom and dad. I'm like, why doesn't my phone work? What did you do? And so then we waited. We had to watch the ad together because we couldn't find it. So we had to watch the channels that the ad was on because they didn't know what the fuck was wrong with my phone, right? And so then they watched the ad and then they paused it and they're like, look at the fine print at the bottom. And so the fine print at the bottom was saying this like, okay, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you're on the hook for every text message you get. Call your provider, blah, blah, blah. And then at the very bottom, it says, and if you want this to stop, text stop to 65050. And then it stopped. And so then they did that,
Nice.
and then I got my phone back. I just followed this ad because I saw it every time I wanted to watch South Park, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's. And the jokes weren't even that funny. The worst joke.
But like, was it an actual virus?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
just I was on the hook for the text, like, it was doing funky shit to my phone.
that's weird. Yeah. But nowadays, I don't know. Advertisements just seem it's you have to watch it for your payment to watch what you actually want to watch or to consume what you actually want to consume. It's now, and I mean, and that's how a lot of companies get their money is through ad revenue.
Yeah.
And that's whole YouTube's whole thing. Is you get so many subscribers, so many watch hours, and then you're eligible for to put ads on your videos, and then you can get ad revenue,
Yep.
right? So I mean, like that's pretty much like how everything is being paid for nowadays is through advertisement. You ever seen that episode of Futurama where he goes into the internet and like
Just gets smoked with ads. I saw that on well, no, I didn't see the Futurama, but I did see that on Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet, whereas the guys, like, just stop him in his tracks. He's, "Wait, here, click." He's, "Oh, okay, click," and then he gets taken to another part of the internet. And then there's more ads, and there's sketchier ads, right?
yeah. I always say that I want to build an app where that just blocks all ads and
Okay.
make it free because that would just be the biggest middle finger to everybody.
Yeah.
Because when your advertisement interrupts my YouTube video, that does the opposite of advertising. Oh, I now hate you, so I am not buying your product. Like rarely ever do I see an ad where I'm oh my god, what? That's amazing. Maybe 1% ads.
Yeah, and what was the word we were talking about in the last episode about neurodivergence? So you were diagnosed ADD
Oh,
and
oppositional defiance
opposition.
disorder.
So that means, okay, just because you told me to buy the product, now I don't want to buy the product.
Yeah,
But yeah, so you have to let the people know that it exists, but don't sell it to them. Don't say, okay, stop. Now that I have your attention, here's my thing, right? But
yeah,
I don't know. I guess you got to get really creative with it because yeah, people are just sick and tired of being sold to. The second you interrupt their fucking lives, which is what ads are, and say, "Hey, buy this thing," or "Hey, your buddy back there that's fucking doing the YouTube thing. The only reason he can do this full time is because of me. Buy this thing. Buy this thing."
yeah. Well, and now the big thing is instead of trying to sell your product, advertise you making it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A behind the scenes sort of thing. Instead of saying, our jeans are made from organic cotton and, are like hand sewn together. Show like people hand sewing it and picking organic cotton.
yeah. I heard this mantra the other day. Don't post your work. Post you working.
Yeah. That's
So yeah,
yeah.
instead of having the thing built and you're showing it to the people and standing there waiting for your applause, you're like, no, 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 this is how I made it. This was the time lapse of me making this thing. The attention economy is not what it used to be. So that's why I think that like the whole TikTok influencer method is more effective is because I don't know. It's maybe because we went from TVs to phones, and that was a real slow change. I can't remember the last time I saw an ad on an actual TV. I don't really watch. I don't watch cable, so
Do you have Amazon Prime?
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, on Prime we get, but it's just ads for other movies.
Yeah, like before you watch a movie, you have to watch 5 minutes of ads.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Which it's not so bad because now that's bringing ads back to what it used to be. Like that's the period of time where I'm like, okay, let's go get our popcorn, let's go get our pop, and then I'm like, oh wait, what's that? Right. If it seems pretty entertaining, if it's
Yeah.
a movie or if it seems like a product that I would actually pay for. One of the funny ones, a funny ad that I've always got entertainment from is the new pill ads where the side effects are half the fucking advertisement. They're like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
try this miracle pill, the miracle pill. And then it's just a bunch of B roll.
Yeah.
It's like side effects include like
Yeah, there
tune
was a
in.
there was a Boondocks episode that did that so well. That the actual ad where it says buy our product is like this big, and yeah, the remainder of the ad is just side effects. It said, I think it was called Zertofenex. They're like Zertofenex in lab studies has clinically proven to lower blood pressure. Blah, 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 blah. This may lead to a rectal scrotal implosion. If you cannot, if this occurs, call 911. If you can't call 911 due to the pain of a rectal scrotal implosion, please let a loved one do it for you. We don't test on blah, 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 we don't test on animals. Blah 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 blah. It's just like we don't suggest anybody like breastfeeding, nursing, pregnant take, or and then at the very end it says or humans take this pill, Zertofenex, because it works. Because it works. A quick little blurb. Please don't eat this.
Yeah. My favorite one was I saw it a pill that was supposed to, like cure depression. And it was like side effects may include suicidal
Suicide, yeah,
thoughts.
suicide.
It's like, what?
And then
This pill, the side effect of this pill may be the thing it's trying to treat.
I think I heard. I think Cat Williams did a good bit on it too. Man, he goes, they'll sell you a pill for pain that caused more side effects, and then they'll give you a pill to knock that side effect out. He goes, man, here's a pill for your headache. Okay, take a pill for the headache. Okay, doc, my leg's blown off. Okay, well, here's a pill to like, knock that back over. Next thing you know, you're on 6 different pills for problems that you didn't start yourself. Stay tuned for the big pharma episode, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently, we don't know what we're talking about when it comes to that kind of stuff.
It's fair because we don't. So it's
no, we're not doctors. We don't pretend to be.
Exactly.
We just read things on the internet and talk on the internet.
That's it.
So it all happens on the internet.
Yeah.
This episode was brought to you by Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yeah.
This episode was brought to you by Riverside.
Straight goods. Literally. I was gonna say, fuck, we don't plug these guys enough.
Straight up. This episode and everything that we do is brought to you by Riverside.
Riverside.
Shout out them.
Yep.
Shout out them and all they do for us. I mean, it's truly an all-in-one platform, right? You can record, edit, post, everything.
But yeah. So I mean, to be honest, I don't even remember a lot of like pharmaceutical ads. I didn't get a hell of a lot. I didn't watch a lot of those channels, but
Epic was one I remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, it is interesting though that like depending on what I mean, it was interesting then, but it makes sense now. But that different channels had specific ads.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas it's like you're not going to get the baby ads on, like the sports channel. You're going to get the baby ads during the kids shows because that's what the parents are around the kids watching TV. Right.
Yeah. You get the Pampers ads then.
Yeah, and then you'll get the sketchy like text my phone fucking ads from like the comedy channels, and like that's where the GoDaddy ads are. That's where the Axe ads are. That's where a lot of the booze ads are. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On Spike TV and stuff.
Spike TV was the worst because I loved their shows, but their ads were long and repetitive because they just advertised their shows. So I saw the same scripted, choreographed fucking Ink Master ad over and over and over and over again. It was just burned into my brain. So instead of, 7 quick hits, there was 3 long ads just for me to get back to fucking Deadliest Warrior or some shit.
Shout out Spike TV. That's no longer a thing.
No, it's Paramount now, right?
That's how I used to watch the UFC. It was kind of funny that and now like UFC is almost all like pay-per-view, but you're supposed to watch it on Spike TV late at night.
Used to. Yeah. There was one that I need to put on record because it's one of those movies that it's like one of those movies that it was build up, and then the movie ends. And you're like, fuck, okay. And then you go on Reddit forums, you're like, did you guys understand that? And then the whole community around it is because of that it doesn't make sense, right? And so I saw this ad for, I'm pretty sure it was a random chocolate bar. I think it was Crispy Crunch or some shit. But all it was, there was no text, no plugs, no go to this fucking link, no branding or anything. All it was a hypnotist with a swirly thing in the back, like a fucking swirl behind him. And then he looks fourth wall break. He's looking right in the camera and he goes, breathe in, breathe out, basically walking you through a hypnosis session. And then he goes, okay, when I clap my hands, you'll crave a Crispy Crunch. Clap. And then next. So yeah, it was a hypnotist hypnotizing you to buy a chocolate bar, and how could you not crave that after that? I'm like, I never crave Crispy Crunches, but I kind of want one now.
Well, my favorite chocolate bar commercial were the Wonder Bar chocolate commercials. Yeah, because it was like the Vikings. Wunderbar.
Were there any other? I guess there's the Wuzza commercial. I think that was Bud Light, wasn't it?
I don't know. I thought that was from Scary Movie.
Scary Movie sampled it from something else. I swear to God, it was a beer commercial or something. But they did it better. The Scary Movie did it better.
Well, definitely.
You seem to have a bunch of ammo on this topic, and you were really excited about it when I pitched it to you. Thought that you would have something about either attention in general or old ads versus new ads or something like that.
But did we touch on that?
I think we did.
Old ads were supposed to like they were designed to catch your attention, and that's what they did. Was they caught your attention. They were more cinematic, and people had longer attention spans. I think back in the 90s, the early 2000s, to the point where an ad was almost a small movie, and now it's definitely very run and gun, a person and a camera. It's not consume this if you want, which that's what ads used to be, was like, hey, just saying, before you run and go get your second Coca-Cola, shout out Coca-Cola, because holy shit, if they didn't like dominate the advertisement
Yeah,
world
them at McDonald's, probably the best
through every
advertisers.
generation. Yeah. Yeah. But right before you grab your Coca-Cola, like, hey, there's this ad. And if you want, you could buy our thing. It's pretty cool, right? And to the point now, it's like, hold on, before you're allowed to watch this thing,
Yeah,
our product, it's cool. Okay, bye.
yeah,
So they're not even trying anymore.
man.
That's the price you pay for consumption of entertainment. Is you're advertised to deal with it.
Yeah, and like, man, I reached a breaking point the other day with ads because like obviously ads suck. Like, I can't name a single person that's excited to watch an ad, but I don't know, man. I actually like stood up off the couch. I'm like, this is getting a little ridiculous. So there was an ad on. It was a sponsorship of a YouTuber I was watching. So he says like, hey, stop. We want to thank Fiverr for sponsoring this. And it's usually the same couple companies that are sponsoring the influencers. There's like Manscaped. There's fucking yeah, Squarespace, Factor, ExpressVPN. What's it? Fume,
NordVPN.
the vape thing.
Fume, yeah,
Fume.
Fume,
There was
yeah.
a mattress too. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like
Helix.
Helix mattress. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but yeah, there's lots of the same companies all kind of sponsoring this similar content creators. But man, I reached this point the other day where it was a sponsored ad. I'm pretty sure it was Factor. And I'm like, okay, let me burn through this. So like I skip it. And then what happens when that happens? You get hit with a fucking ad, right? So I skip this ad to get two unskippable ads. And then on the second ad, it was an ad about fucking advertising. Okay. And I understand these companies need to advertise so that people can advertise with them. But like, my God, dude. I just remember when there was, I know I sound like such an old man, but I don't care anymore. But you know, there was a time when there was no, actually, that was part of YouTube's hook is that there was no ads. You know, if you were sick of ads, because there was ads, there was a time on the internet, if you went to Dailymotion or there was another one, I can't remember, but there was other alternatives to YouTube back in the day, and then they all just got squished when YouTube became huge. They had ads because if there was ever something that YouTube didn't have, I'd find it somewhere in the freaking wormholes of the internet. And sometimes I would go to sites like Dailymotion and shit like that, and they would always have ads. And this is why I like YouTube because there's no ads, and now it's the most ad-ridden place on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. Google's always trying to shove something down your throat. And if they're not trying to shove something down your throat, they're trying to shove themselves down your
Yeah.
throat.
Yeah. You
Google.
can't navigate the internet without us. Fuck you. You can't.
But really, name the last time that you didn't use Google. Have you ever used Yahoo?
No. Do you remember Bing? Bing was a thing for a while
Bing is
that
still a
popped up
thing. It's
as default. Is it?
yeah, like when you use what Edge, when you use Microsoft Edge,
Okay.
if you don't set
Oh,
your search
Microsoft
engine
acquired
to
Bing. Yeah.
so Bing is still a thing.
Yeah. I remember on. I'm pretty sure Rob Dyrdek got ad revenue for this because for the longest time on Ridiculousness, instead of the what was it called, the high speed recap, it was called "What happens if you Bing this." So I'm like, okay, so Bing is definitely paying you to do that because who the fuck uses Bing, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like his thing was, what happens if you Bing butt rocket, and then butt rocket comes up, right? Which I don't even think. One time I actually went and looked that up. It actually isn't like they pre-pick the fucking videos that they want to play. It's not even really if you fucking Bing it.
Well, that's just lame. That's false advertisement.
And I heard Bing is called because it's not Google.
Wow.
Whoa.
I'd believe that,
Yeah.
and that's so lame.
That's so lame. They're like they tried to be punk rock, but they're still corporate in the same breath.
Yeah, like you're off half a beat. Go fuck yourself.
Ooh, that left a mark.
It's not
That
punk.
left a mark. For those of you that don't know, I'm going on a quick side rant. Billy found a fucking drum set in the dumpster, and he thought it was the most punk rock origin story ever. And so, without even practicing any drums, which thought would add to his punk rock aura, he applied for a drummer in a punk band that was advertising in the newspaper. They came over and they said that he was off by half a beat. He's like, "That's not punk." He's like, so he's a little butthurt, folks, but he's got a good point. But he's got, and that would have been a very punk rock origin story. They're like, "Where'd you get your first drums?" I don't know. Fucking found them in a dumpster
I'm in the garbage.
behind my house. Yeah. And you still have those drums, right?
Fuck yeah.
Nice,
They're like a 1970s Yamaha or something like that.
nice.
Any ads you want to shout out?
Uh,
Who's sponsoring you nowadays?
Nobody. Other than Riverside, I'll shamelessly plug them because yeah, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be. Actually, no, we'd still be doing this, but it would cost a lot more. And so I'm glad.
Would.
I'm glad that because before we started this, I'm just okay. Fuck. Now I got to factor in Riverside costs. That's got to be into my budget here because you're right. They do everything in house, and so like okay, let's pay for that. I'm not going to make you pay for it the whole time. And next thing you know, boop, it's on the house. But we don't plug them enough, so.
And the thing is, I discovered Riverside because I was looking for an all-in-one service. So that way, you only have to make one payment, and then because they were so awesome, and we had that I think it's a 2 week free trial. I was, oh my gosh, even during this 2 week free trial, they're so amazing. So I was shouting them out on social media because I believed in it. And they're like, hey, Uncle Bill, we like what you're saying about us. Here's a year free subscription if you keep talking good stuff about us. And so, I mean, I do. I still, to this day, stand by the fact that Riverside is probably, if you want to start a, a podcast, Riverside is the way
Okay,
to go.
I know. I
There's
don't think
like,
we've prefaced what they do. Yeah, so the Riverside is the reason this is all happening. Well, that's what we're recording on as we as we speak. So a big
yeah,
part of the Big Lumpy Couch experience coming to the beautiful people is because of Riverside. So we need to yeah give
yeah,
our thanks for that.
record, edit, post, and
Right.
host.
But yeah, and
Yeah.
you know what, man? Like I understand that like in order for creators to do this full time, ads are a big part of that. So like I'm not ever gonna knock a creator for pursuing their dreams. But I don't know. I think everybody can agree that ads are just annoying. So that's why they're so prominent in interface all the time. I thought it'd be a fun episode to just talk about ads as a whole. So there was a little bit of good, there's a lot of bad, there's a lot of come on, you're not even trying. But I don't know, man. I hope that I think we're just going to be sold to more now, more than ever, because yeah, the attention economy is not going to go anywhere. I think it's just going to get worse, where there's going to be ads on ads on ads and UPC codes and oh, scan my thing now, go to this link and fuck, it's gonna get crazy. So I don't know. Let's be aware of what we're being sold to. Let's be aware of the messages that certain companies are trying to push on us, and let's just watch the show. Watch the show if it's a good ad. Just sit back and enjoy the magic trick. You don't have to look for the trap doors or the smoke or the mirrors. If you see a funny ad, try and enjoy it because there are some good ones out there.
There
Yeah.
are. And one promise that we'll make you from the Big Olympic Coach is that if we ever do advertise something, it is something that we stand behind. And we're not currently sponsored by anybody, so that's what I'm saying now.
Uh huh.
We promise never to sell out.
Yeah, if you're ever looking to buy products that you from a company that you heard about through a YouTuber, make sure you go back to their link because that's kind of how they feed themselves and their family. So because I did that by accident once, I'm just like, but I think it was like Steve-O or something. He was because he gets sponsored a lot. And, oh shit! I just went to the website and I forgot to use his link. He gets paid for that. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm sure he's not starving. I'm sure he's good, but
Yeah, I'm sure Steve was
I'm
good.
sure he's okay.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's all we got for you this week, folks. But remember to tune in next week for another hot episode of the Olympic Coach. And until then, have a good one,
See
world.
you.